ULTRATEC'S caption telephone is a new telephone designed for people with hearing loss. What makes CapTel special is its built-in text display screen, which shows word-for-word captions of everything the other person says. This makes CapTel perfect for people who are hard of hearing, because they can read the captions if they cannot hear what is said over the phone. While CapTel is a breakthrough for people with hearing loss, it is important that 911 call takers are aware of this new technology so that they can respond to CapTel calls with the same speed and effectiveness as other emergency calls. CapTel is a combination voice and text telephone designed specifically for people with hearing loss. It looks and works just like a regular telephone, plus one important difference. CapTel provides word-for-word captions of everything the other party says. CapTel users can use whatever residual hearing they have and also receive captions of the conversation.
Boy, that does sound like fun. Which was your favorite?
My favorite part is Space Mountain.
The captions are provided by a telecommunications relay service, which listens in on the call and transcribes everything the caller says into captions. When a CapTel user places a call, their call is first routed through the relay service, then connected to the end telephone number. Captioning assistants at the relay use the very latest in voice recognition technology to provide real-time captions. Their participation is transparent to both people in the conversation. CapTel users typically fall into one or more of the following categories: senior citizens and others who have some degree of hearing loss, late deafened individuals accustomed to using the telephone, hearing aid and cochlear implant wearers of all ages, individuals who are deaf who have strong speech skills. In order to provide the fastest and most reliable access to 911 service, 911 calls dialed on a CapTel phone go directly to the 911 public safety answering point, just like any other telephone. The call is not routed through the relay service. This means CapTel users get all the benefits of calling 911 directly, including connecting to the right public safety answering point in the least possible time, immediate access to a 911 call taker, automatic number identification, and any other enhanced services that would be available to any other caller. The CapTel user will not get captions of the call from the relay. Instead, as soon as 911 is dialed, the CapTel phone converts into a voice carryover or VCO phone. With VCO, the CapTel user talks directly to the 911 call taker.
Hello, 911? Can you hear me?
911 here, what is your emergency?
But may not be able to hear what the 911 call taker says.
911 here, what is your emergency?
Hello?
In VCO mode, the 911 call taker must type messages using a TTY or TTY equivalent device. Then, listen for a spoken response from the caller. Callers read the typed messages from the 911 call taker, then respond by speaking over the phone.
I just saw a car out the corner down the street hit a fire hydrant.
This text and voice communication continues back and forth throughout the conversation.
The only person that's hurt at this point is the driver. It is still in the car, and it ran into the fire hydrant. Only one car involved at this.
Depending on the extent of their hearing loss, a CapTel user may be able to hear the 911 call taker well enough to communicate over the phone. In that case, the call follows the same operating procedure as any other voice call to 911. If the CapTel user does not hear well enough to understand the call taker's voice,
Hello?
VCO should be used. The ability to respond to VCO calls is already a requirement for all emergency service providers. Every public safety answering point should currently have written standard operating procedures for responding to VCO calls. While equipment or operating procedures may vary, the following guidelines can help correctly identify and respond to a VCO call. A CapTel call comes into the 911 center just like any other voice call.
911 here, what is your emergency?
The 911 call taker can hear
Hello,
the CapTel
911.
user
911 here, how may I
as
help
well
you?
as
Can
any
you hear me?
background noises.
911.
Hello? Hello?
If the CapTel user cannot hear the
911 here, what is your
911 call
emergency?
taker well enough to understand,
Hello?
the CapTel user can request VCO by pressing a button on the CapTel phone. The CapTel phone automatically sends out a text message every few seconds using TTY tones.
911.
These tones alert the 911 call taker to the need for VCO. The 911 call taker should immediately switch to TTY mode and type a message to the caller. It is also possible that the CapTel user will
911
do
here,
or
what is
say
your emergency?
nothing, a silent call, in which case the call taker should query the line with the TTY. During this time, the call taker should leave audio mode enabled to monitor any sounds on the line. Upon receiving the text message from 911, the CapTel phone will automatically transmit a text message to the 911 call taker to confirm that the connection has been established and explain how a VCO call works. As soon as the confirmation text message is sent, the CapTel phone opens the audio path and allows the CapTel user to talk directly to the 911 call taker.
Hello, 911? Can you hear me?
At this point, the 911 call taker and the CapTel user take turns typing and speaking back and forth to communicate.
I just saw a car outside and just hit a fire hydrant.
The 911 call taker can hear everything the CapTel user says. When the CapTel user is finished speaking, the call taker switches to TTY mode and types a response or instructions.
The only person that's hurt at this point is the driver. It is still in the car, and it ran into the fire hydrant.
Although the CapTel user may not say GA or go ahead each time they are finished talking, it is customary that the call taker types GA after each typed message to let the CapTel user know it is their turn to talk.
And the person is stable at this point.
This text and voice communication continues back and forth throughout the conversation.
Only one car involved at this part. Okay, all right, thank you.
As you prepare to respond to CapTel VCO calls, review and maintain your center's written operating procedure for receiving and responding to calls from users of VCO telephones and TTYs. Ensure that each manned call-taking position is equipped with its own TTY accessible equipment. Make sure existing equipment can switch between voice and Baudot transmission to be able to respond to VCO calls. Maintain a separate, standalone TTY to ensure that backup equipment will be provided in case of an emergency or malfunction. Designate someone to keep abreast of technological developments in the area of CapTel, TTY, and other related modem telephone equipment. Establish a regular maintenance schedule for all TTY-related equipment. CapTel is opening the door to telephone communication for thousands of deaf and hard-of-hearing people everywhere. Knowing the correct procedure for handling CapTel VCO calls will ensure that they receive swift and reliable emergency services. For more information, please contact customer service at ULTRATEC Incorporated, 450 Science Drive, Madison, Wisconsin,